Hey traders, Cory Mitchell here with TradeThatSwing.com. Just going to go through some trades today. This is for my own benefit, whether I'm doing a video or I write in my journal a lot or send emails to myself. I'm always just kind of noting things I really liked and things that I could have done a bit better. The one thing today I really noticed was it bugged me that I just dwelled a little bit on my last trade and it caused me to miss another trade. So this one here I missed, and I was looking for it. I was set up. I wanted it, and I was in this one, and so I took this and it hit my target, and I kind of watched it blow through my target, which was a little bit arbitrarily set. Like I thought 8 might be important on this one. Uh, Maybe just like just get in and get out, more like my old trading style, take a quick profit when really it doesn't really align with what I'm trying to do of holding for the bigger gain. But once it broke through there, I should have been staying in this one through this pullback and then into the next rally. Either way, I'm not too worried about that. It was a okay trade. I did think 8 might be important, so I put my target there. But then when it blew through, I got a little watching this and forgot about this. And so that's a bit of an issue. It's like the market's not going to wait for us. So it's like if you're done with an opportunity, it's like start looking for the next one. Next. Don't ruminate on that last loss or that last win or where it went. That's for your trade review after. It's like during trade time, it's like find those opportunities. Boom, boom, boom. And so that one, yeah, I really like this one. It was sitting, we'd had this little range develop and it popped outside of it. And we got this consolidation outside above the day high. And so it was like, okay, it popped out. It's holding there. If it keeps running this direction, it could look good. I also liked it because on the daily chart, breaking, remember this candle's showing half the day now, or at least the morning. But at this point, if we go back, so right around here, like 360. If we look at like 360, that's getting pretty close to that last day high. So I was like, okay, like if we pop above, we're going to start clearing yesterday's high too, might get a little extra buying enthusiasm. So I liked it. I should have been in it. It's not a huge volume stock, so not something you could have loaded up and made a huge profit on. It's lower priced. Definitely some volume there. Could easily had, at least a chunk of shares could have made at least a few $100 on this for a couple minutes work. But that's not the point. This could have been, trading huge volume and could have been your trade of the week, right? If you like the setup, tight stop loss, you could have a huge chunk of shares and you catch a big run. Looking at, in this case, a few cents to make, let's say, 15, 20. That's 6 to 1. 5 to 1 reward to risk. It's a really nice trade. You don't want to be missing it. So the fact that it was a little bit lower volume and lower priced, yeah, I would have made something on it. Great. But it's the mistake that's the problem, right? Not the money missed, because it's like if I repeat this, I'm just going to have these in all types of different types of trades, and that's just all sorts of profit missed out on. So this one, maybe not a huge dollar amount missed out on, but it was still a good opportunity to add to the P&L of the day. It was a good day overall. Had some nice moves, and yeah, these other ones, let's talk about that. So that one consolidated outside the old range. These ones I took were a little bit more anticipatory because the level it held here, it comes back up, it holds again. Let's call it an area. It's not an exact price. It's holding in this area, gets rejected, comes back up, gets rejected. But it got rejected here, but it also didn't really go anywhere. It didn't sell off a whole lot. So the rejection's information, and how it reacts after the rejection is also information. So once it starts going up, this is what I call a DP pattern, sharp move up. And then you get this little range that develops. A move down, a move back up to the prior swing high, a move down to the prior swing low, and then we start moving up again. But I'm going to trail this aggressively because I don't know if the breakout's going to happen. We are anticipating, and we don't know if it's going to happen yet. So the trailing stop loss just gets moved up with each candle. If it blows through, awesome. If it doesn't, then you get this type of exit here, where if it gets rejected at that high, you get out because it hasn't broken through yet. Once it breaks through, once you get a sharp move out of this area, that's when I'll back off and be like, okay, it's done what I want it to do. Now I can give it some room. But until it's done what I want to do, in this type of anticipatory situation, I'm not going to give it much room. Same with this one. This one was hanging out just below this kind of high. So it's like, I'm going to give it a chance. I want to see if it blows through this level. And my target was basically just above that level. Again, a little arbitrarily set there. And yeah, so it would have got trailed, and then the target was hit. So after that, it didn't matter. I kept watching it and ended up missing that one. But yeah, overall, like, this was a nice one. Just a classic TC. Sharp drop. Nice pullback. Once it starts dropping again, we're getting in right about there. Once it takes out this green candle low. Starting to move down, or at least that's the first indication of it starting to move down on our chart. And nice big drop. Pullback. Next drop. At this exact point, we don't know it's slowing. But once it pulls back, and we get a pretty big pullback. So in about this area, I'm already thinking, oh man, this is slowing, because this last wave down was way smaller than this one, and it got trailed out because that's where the stop loss went after the price dropped. You move it below the last, or above the last swing high, got trailed out. If that hadn't got trailed out with slowing and it starts to drop again, we're in an aggressive trailing stop loss situation, kind of like where I'm just dropping it below each candle high in this case, but it ran to this prior stop loss. Chickened out a little bit here. A little bit. I do have some of these tendencies coming back. I've always been kind of a get in, get the burst, get out type trader, and I still can do those trades if I want, but I am trying to train myself a little better to hold for the swings. This one I kind of chickened out. I just got out flat. There might have been a little wick there or something, and I was just like, I don't know if I feel really great about this trade. Anyway, turned out that was right. Didn't really go anywhere, fizzled, but I could have made a little bit more by getting out here, because this fizzled right away. So now we're in a slowing situation. The next rally, we're using an aggressive trailing stop loss, so would have got out there. Would have made a tiny bit more, but it looks pretty close to about where I got out. Either way, it's not the point that I ended up with the same result. It's that I didn't quite do what I was supposed to. So yeah, I mean, I'm learning or trying to push my boundaries on how I trade. So I'm not too worried if there's a couple little mistakes in terms of this, where my old habits come in, because at least my old habits are good. They're good in a way. They served me for a long time. But this I did not like. That, because that's no good with any method. If we're stuck a little bit too much on the last trade and we miss the next one, that's not good. So I'm definitely drilling it, and while I'm trading, I'll have a little note beside me. It's like next, that we just move from trade to trade without too much hesitation. But overall, pretty happy with the stocks I'm pulling up to watch. They're moving very well. Nice intraday trends. I end up watching about 8. Sometimes I'll drop one off and add another one if I look at the intraday, like if one's really dead and I pull up the stocks in place scan that I run, I can see which stocks are up a lot in the, once the session gets going, those sometimes get ended up on here, or that's how HIMS ended up on here, HIMS and hers. I can't remember what was on there before, but it wasn't moving, so I went to the stocks in place scan, pulled up this, made a little bit on it there, not too much, but yeah, overall pretty happy with the stock picks, how they're moving, and the trading overall, even with implementing some big changes, happy with that. But yeah, definitely next. So those are my thoughts for myself. Hopefully something in there for you as well.